Elite Dangerous was released 9 years ago, and yet it's estimated that players have only discovered about 0.06% of the 400 billion star systems in the game. Here's how you can be immortalized by having your name forever emblazoned in this system map for all to see. Oh, and you'll make a few 100 million credits in the process. Let's do this. So, first off, some prerequisites. First, you'll need to have the Odyssey expansion for Elite Dangerous. As of right now, it's on sale for like $15 on Steam, if you don't have it already. Secondly, you'll need a detailed surface scanner equipped on your ship. Third, if you plan on doing the exobiology part of this, which is where all the money comes in, you'll need an Artemis suit. You can buy one in pretty much any station at the Pioneer Supplies shop. Now, in order to get your first footfall recognition, you'll need to find a system that's uninhabited, and that has a landable planet that no one has landed on yet. If you don't see a first footfall accreditation here, you're good to go. Don't worry, finding one of these systems is actually easier than you think. Now, if you're out in Colonia like I am, it's actually pretty easy. Basically, pick a system about 500 light years away, and you'll have a pretty good chance of hitting one that'll work. The stars are so numerous out here that there's a lot of unexplored systems around. In my case, I'll be starting at this system that's just over 500 light years out. Now if you're in the bubble, it's a similar situation, you just might have to fly a bit further out, like maybe 2,000 light years or so. And hey, if you haven't been to Colonia yet, now might be the time to make that journey. It takes less time than you think, and it's totally worth it. I'll have another video showing just how to do that soon. So at this point, just pick a system far enough away from civilization, and then you're going to do a search around there for another system with a planet where you can make your mark. Here's how to do that. Head on over to spanch.co.uk, and we'll use the bodies search. I'll have a link down in the description that you can use that'll pre-fill all the fields that you'll need. But basically what we're going to do is put your reference system that you identified, and then we're going to put in all the properties of the type of planet that we're looking for. And then Spanch will search for a system around the reference one that has such a planet. So first, put in the name of the reference system you found. And then, give it a distance to arrival range that you're comfortable with. This is the distance the planet is from the central star of the system. I like to keep this under 2,000 light seconds because A, it saves travel time once you're in the system, and B, these planets get harder to find the further away you get from the central star anyway. As for gravity, I'd keep it under 1G just because it makes landing a little bit easier. Next, we'll put in all the types of atmospheres that support life. And then finally, we're looking for a high metal content world. And that's it. Now hit search. It'll chew on that for a few seconds, and then we'll give you a list of all the systems around that fit that criteria. Now if you happen to see a system that has 2 such planets, I like to hit those first just because it doubles the chances you get to find some high-paying exobiology to scan. In any case, grab the name of the first system you want to try, and let's go.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, now that you've reached your target system, you most likely won't have a filled out system map since you haven't been here before. So fire up your full spectrum scanner, and let's find the planets that came up in our body search. So now you want to scan along the orbital plane, and you'll see little indicators pop up pointing the way to an object. Now place the scanner over that object and adjust the tuning back and forth until you get a solid circle. Then hit the trigger to zoom in and follow the same process again. Once you've zeroed in on the object, voila, now it'll appear in your system map. So now just keep on scanning around until you find the planets you're looking for. In this case, according to Spanch, I'm looking for 7 and 8. And here they are. Now, bring up your system map and click on the planets you just found. Here you can verify that, in fact, there is no first footfall accreditation for those planets. Now, if you do already see a first footfall note here, it's not the end of the world. You can still head over and scan the exobiology on the planet and make several million credits. You just won't get the first footfall bonus money or get your name added to the system map. In any case, set your target on the planet and then head on over. Once you get close to the planet, this is where your detailed surface scanner comes in. You need to map the planet with the scanner to see which biological signals are there and where they might be located. So activate your scanner, and then you're going to fire probes around the planet to get a comprehensive map of the entire surface. I like to fire the first one straight on, and then a few around the backside to get full coverage. Now, if you get the entire surface mapped within the number of shots in the efficiency target, you get a small credit bonus when you turn in the data.
Surface scan complete.
Okay, so now that the planet is mapped, at the top of the screen you'll see the types of biological signals that were detected. So scroll through those, and you'll see the areas of the planet highlight in blue that are specific to each type of signal. So in this example, they all kind of overlap pretty closely, but that's not always going to be the case. So if you're looking for a specific biological, select that from the top, and that'll show you the areas on the planet where that type can be found. Now, it's important to note here that the highlighted areas on the planet don't necessarily indicate that you'll find those biologicals there. It just means that it's possible to find them in that specific biome or environment. But it's not an actual heat map of where you're going to find the most exobiology. So, pick whichever type you want, and then head on down to the planet in an area that's highlighted. Try to come in between a 30 and 50 degree angle, and you'll be able to glide quickly to the surface. Also, you'll note here, if you switch back and forth between combat mode and analysis mode, it'll turn that highlighting on and off so that you can actually see the environmental features of the surface to plan where you want to land.
Orbital flight engaged.
Alright, so after you're finished gliding, start slowing down, and when you're around 100 meters or so from the surface, start looking around for some biologicals. A little trick is you can deploy your cargo scoop, and that'll kind of act as an air brake to slow you down. So at this distance, you can actually see a few biologicals start to pop up. Here's a couple of bacteria patches, but I'm looking for stratum, as they tend to pay better than bacteria. Bingo. See those blob-looking things? That's stratum.
Cargo scoop retracted.
So go ahead and pop out your landing gear, and let's go take a look.
Landing gear deployed.
Alright, time to disembark. Now make sure you equip the loadout with your Artemis suit, because that suit contains the exobiology scanner that we're going to need. And there it is, confirmation that you are the first commander to set foot on this planet. Congratulations. Okay, let's get to scanning. So head on over to the organism, take out your scanner, and scan it. And it'll show the specific variant of that type of organism. Now, in order to get credit for that scan, you'll need to scan 3 different groups of that same type of organism, and those scans have to be a certain minimum distance apart, which will vary with the type of the organism. Now, it's also important to note here that you have to scan those 3 groups consecutively, as in, if you scan another type of organism before getting all 3 of those scans, it'll discard the data from the original one, and you'll have to start over. So make sure you get all 3 scans before moving on to a different type of organism. So let's go find the next one. You could use your SRV here. I find it's just easier, quicker to jump back in the ship. I'm not great at driving the SRV, and the ship's just a lot faster, obviously. Alright, so lift off and let's go look for the next patch to scan. So the best way to do this is to stay under 100 meters from the ground, tilt your nose down, and use your vertical thrusters to stay at a somewhat consistent distance from the surface as you fly along. So here we can see some other planets to scan later, but that's not what we're looking for right now. Remember that if you scan another type before getting 3 of the same type, you'll lose that data that you already have. But this is what we're looking for. Let's go scan it.
Landing gear deployed. Cargo scoop retracted.
Now, remember how I said the groups have to be a certain distance apart to count for the scan? Use your secondary fire, and you'll fire a pulse that when it hits the exobiology will make it glow a certain color. If it glows green, then you're good to go for scanning. If it glows blue, you're still too close to the previous scan. These are showing green, so let's do it. Alright, that's 2. Let's go get the third one. And done. Easy as that. Now, quick note, if you die, all this exobiology data gets lost. So, don't get blowed up. So I almost forgot. Let's go check our first footfall status in the system map. And there it is. Congratulations, your name is now forever included in Elite Dangerous lore. So, while I'm here, I'll go scan some bacteria. And some tussock. And some osseous. Alright, only thing left at this point is to head to the nearest Vista Genomics lab and sell our data. So here you can see the total for all the systems you scanned, and drill down system by system and check out what we got for each one. So the heavy hitter here was the Stratum Tectonicus, had a little over 19 million, and then add in the other ones and we're making a good chunk of change. But that's not all. If you were the first to scan any of those organisms on those planets, you'll see it show up here with a 4x bonus, which, as you can see, adds up pretty quick. So congratulations and welcome to the world of exobiology. Now that you got your first payout, you can go back to the Spanch search, put in the system you were just at, and search around there for your next target. Anyway y'all, I hope this was helpful and enjoyable for you. If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe, and look, go in the comments and tell me what other videos you'd like to see. I'd love to hear from you. Until then, 07 Commander, and I'll see you next time.